Hi folks, today I have for us a video from Travis Hines, who decided to call out one of our own in the community. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to the page. Leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. Don't forget to check out my second channel, NCR Movie Network, and my podcast, the Craptown Florida Man Power Ranking Podcast. A new episode is out every week, and episode 18 is currently out. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
Alright, I find it interesting to watch the troll channels try to virtue signal the downfall of First Amendment like videos, audit videos, and they're making various arguments about the downfall. And I mean, I gotta admit, I watched Lucid's Lair. She just put out a video 5 days ago, and she made a bit of a short proposition why this downfall is happening, and gave some years and some kind of some loose reasons. She says that the year happened after 2020, and
Now, I know the video he's talking about. I watched it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought she did very well in putting out the information she gathered. She took time into this. This wasn't just some short. This was almost 20-minute long video of Lucid explaining the downfall of the First Amendment auditing community. Yes, she gave dates when it was at its height, at its peak. But none of the information she gave out is what Travis is trying to say. She didn't just give some synopsis. She did her research. This just is coming off to me as he's butthurt that his community is being called out for what it actually is.
It's just boring. It's boring to watch First Amendment auditors because it's all repetitive. So people lose interest. There's not many subscribers to this form of entertainment.
Yes! Yes!
It's not really activism. People have made various attempts at the activism, but it's, well, she's saying it's all for the money. and you know, I think her viewpoint is very narrow when it comes to this downfall, and it is a downfall for some people. It's not that way for everybody. Maybe there's stagnation, there's downfall. Yeah, there's people, most of the First Amendment auditor channel style stuff doesn't get 1 million subscribers and many views. It's something that anybody can do for entertainment. But asserting your rights, I mean, she says it's a repetitive action that's done over and over again. And once you've seen one video, you've seen them all. But it really helps other people.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
And we're calling shenanigans, folks, because Lucid's Lair brought up valid points. When she brought up the fact that they all use the same scripts, it's the same thing. If they go to the post office, it's the same script about Poster 7 that we've all heard 1 million times. When they go to the courthouse and they're asked to sign in and provide an ID, it's the same script about they're violating their Fourth Amendment rights. When they go and file FOIA requests and they say that they don't need to have it pre-written, that all they need to do is go there and request it and get the paper from them, or to have a blank sheet given to them, it's the same thing. Travis also brought up the point that First Amendment auditing has helped people. Well, let's ask Big West when he admitted that he fell into their trap and was almost arrested and ruined his life because of it. Or look at Riot Girl Radio, or Rage Girl, what she wants to call herself now. auditing has ruined her life. Even she's admitted it. So how can it be helpful if it's ruining people's lives?
With learning the process and being reminded of it, because you can kind of forget how to assert your own rights when a cop does give you a hard time on the streets, and to practice and practice and practice watching other videos here and there and do it in slightly different ways or very different ways. You learn. Learning can take a lot of repetition, and if you watch a lot of videos, then you'll be very practiced. I think that a lot of these First Amendment auditors have gotten better over the years. They've learned what arguments work, what arguments don't. They learn the types of responses you'll normally get, and learn to avoid saying certain things on camera, and improve upon what you are saying. Okay, it's really, it takes a lot of practice, because you're in the heat of the moment when you got aggressive people approaching you and making demands, whether they're cops or building managers or whatever, and people need that practice. It's not something that's it's a downfall. I think Lucid's Lair was a former government employee who's a little angry about maybe losing her job or something, and that's maybe what it is. Maybe a family, maybe she had a family member who lost their job. Maybe a cop's wife and her husband cop lost his job or something, and she might be angry about it. So now she's taking her anti-activism measures and using other people's content to criticize them. So
it seems that Lucid struck a nerve against him, because I don't personally know Lucid's Lair. I watch her videos. I've spoken to her in my side chats and in other people's side chats. She is well spoken in her videos. She is well factual in her videos. But Travis is coming up with these baseless accusations. Because why? She struck a nerve. She brought up a valid point. The First Amendment auditing community is at its downfall. Look at how they're acting. Look at their actions. The way they speak to people isn't helping them fight for our rights. It's just showing them that they're bullies. And their fans want to watch them be bullies. The people who want to watch that must have some kind of bitterness in them. And for Travis to make those claims about Lucid's personal life or what caused her to do this is just wrong. He doesn't know anything about her, and yet he wants to make those claims. It's just showing that he's got some hurt fifis and he's butthurt.
There's protesters and there's counter protesters. This type of First Amendment audit movement has gone to the extreme in some cases, but not always. It's going in all kinds of different directions, but I mean the theme is there, even though the audience might not be large. I mean, you ignore it. Imagine taking the all First Amendment audit videos off of the internet. What would happen? People would start forgetting what to do.
No, we would go back to what we did before the internet. I mean, you would go and do what we always done. We would take it to the courts to fight for our First Amendment rights. Look at the classic Cohen case, where a man wore a vest that said, "Fuck the draft." Look at Two Live Crew. They sued for their First Amendment rights to have their albums placed out. This argument he's making is just so dumb. If First Amendment audit videos go away, it doesn't mean our First Amendment rights go away, and our rights to fight for them go away. It just shows us that he doesn't know what he's talking about.
That communication loop just ends, and you'll start seeing a rise in police misbehavior. Okay, there needs to be a pushback. If there's no pushback, then the police push even further past the boundaries of your rights. So it's not something that's going to go away, but it is something that YouTube can control the content of. And this is where I become suspicious about intentions. There's politics involved, okay? You know, the trolls are not unaffected. First Amendment auditors are not unaffected. The politics of the times, on a large scale and and with local government, small scale, federal government, large scale, small scale, worldly, even outside of the U.S. There's influence from other countries, maybe even aliens at times with the drone.
With all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about?
Drones flying over New Jersey or something. But yeah, there's a politics and a shift in leadership priorities. And Lucid Layer said that about 2020 is when she thinks that there's been a downfall on First Amendment auditors, just as a general statement.
Now, that's not what she said. She said more channels started to come out in the First Amendment auditing community in 2020 during the pandemic and the political landscape at the time. And over the last few years, they spiked up in numbers, but now are dwindling down. The audiences are dwindling. The channels are starting to stagnate. And even at this point, you don't know what you're saying, Travis. You're trying to make yourself sound like you have all the answers when you don't.
And I say that, you know, I looked at when Susan Wojcicki, who used to run YouTube, she departed about early 2023, and I kind of blame her leaving as maybe part of the problem on priorities at YouTube. I think that she likely was into the First Amendment auditor stuff. I think that she liked freedom. I think she was about that. She's dead now, unfortunate, but she left YouTube and then had her passed away. And new leadership came in and new priorities, and I think they've decided to go in a different direction for what they consider popular on YouTube, and I'm not sure what that is. It's not exactly always clear what's going to be popular. But there's a change in the YouTube leadership. Okay, where else do we go? Facebook, we got that. Other platforms, Truth Social, which I'm still looking into. I don't know too much about that one. But also, I've seen that there's just been a huge rise in the popularity of body cam videos and courtroom videos. I enjoy watching them. Okay, I mean, the way these people put them together, and who cares what their names are, like Midwest Safety or something. They're just popping up all over the place. All these guys are just regurgitating the police body cam videos and the courtroom antic videos. It's like, I find it interesting that
you're mad that those channels are thriving. Yes, people love watching body cam footage. People love to watch the show Cops, but Cops is no longer on the air. Yes, you can find channels and streaming services that will play the older episodes, but there are no newer episodes. And thanks to the Freedom of Information Act, people can get body cam footage. Thanks to the pandemic, courtrooms have gone to doing Zoom trials and airing them on YouTube and Facebook because people have a right to watch them. And if those channels are thriving and yours isn't, it's because your stuff's not entertaining. That stuff is.
That A&E, the popular TV channel, I think it's A&E. They can't seem to get a strong foothold in the entertainment. They can't get a strong entertainment foothold in the niche of courtroom drama or like cops, like the on the street police drama, because everybody can get access to the body cams. The cops don't exactly need somebody running around behind them with a camera. Now we get a lot of pretty much the same kind of entertainment with the police body cams, and just you make a public records request. If you hear of some interesting situation that happened, get a public records request and get that video, and then put it up on your YouTube channel and profit. And it might be that some police stations are posting their own body cams of situations that have occurred. I don't know. That's getting hundreds of thousands of views.
And
The body cam stuff, the First Amendment auditing, not so much. And there's different factors involved, from leadership and I mean the viewers, whatever they prefer. I think I tend to watch more police body cams than I do First Amendment audit stuff. So there's that. There's, I guess First Amendment auditing stuff is a little repetitive, but I need that repetition, because I mean the cops still approach you in the same way. So they, people, trolls might argue that it's repetitive on the cameraman's part, but the police are very repetitive as well. They want to see your ID. What are you doing here? And you're being detained. And well, we gotta ask you these questions and all this. The same stuff. A lot of it is very similar, but it's constantly always happening, and you want to be prepared for it. You want to be aware it's happening.
Yes, there is some repetition when it comes to police interaction videos, but they're asking the standard questions that they have to ask. Yes, they have to ask for ID because they have to identify people that they interact with when it comes to traffic stops or if they're investigating crimes. They have to tell people that they're detained. They have to do these things. The fact that auditing videos are losing viewers is because you guys have no difference. And I mean, we could swap out you for a different frauditor and it'd be the same thing. You could swap out Auditing America for, I don't know, Auditing USA. It's the same script, same story. If you guys are mad because the viewers aren't watching you, it's because you're not that entertaining. You're not giving them something that they haven't already seen 20 times. You can type in First Amendment Auditor or First Amendment on YouTube, and you can find hundreds, if not thousands, of different auditing channels.
So having all these videos at least being allowed onto the platform of YouTube helps keep the education continuing on, even for the new people. And the new people coming up, I mean, who are new to this type of activism, they're learning from people who have learned from past people, and they're learning advanced techniques.
What a crock of shit. Have you ever heard more bullshit or drivel coming from somebody who's not even the president?
It's very helpful. I look forward to when AI is going to really get in there and make conversation with the cops. That will be great. I mean, people have tried all kinds of different techniques. Try something that's really going to rattle the cops. Because, I mean, personally playing with AI, with either Google Gemini or ChatGPT, I can tell it to just be a prosecutor. I could tell it to be my defense attorney. I could just turn on ChatGPT, and apparently you can call 1-800-ChatGPT. So you could put the ChatGPT right on speakerphone. If you don't have access to the internet, you could get on your phone, call 1-800-ChatGPT, and then say, ChatGPT, you're my lawyer. I got these cops here. Help me out. And
is this just a genetic thing with you? Is it congenital? Did your mother drop you on your head when you were a baby?
and put them on speakerphone and go at it that way. Things are definitely changing, whether you make good videos or boring videos or not. I mean, you might want to think about other ways to make money anyway, because the way these technological visionaries are talking is they're making it sound like apps are going to be a thing of the past. YouTube is an app, okay? So there's a very good chance YouTube is going to be a thing of the past, okay? And somehow controlled by AI agents, and people get access to videos in different ways, not through apps. How is that going to work? Can you envision how that structure is going to change? But yeah, either way, I mean, with all this repetitive stuff, it's great. It's great for the AI learning process. It learns what the best techniques are, your best defense techniques. But it also learns what the best offense techniques are for the cops, for the prosecutors. The prosecutors can learn how to try to use different ways to trample your rights. Like, oh, this is for my safety. Things that work. Oh, that's a kid over there. Now you're in trouble. Whatever. You got a camera and there's a kid 100 yards away. Now you're in trouble. There's just these statements that they could.
Oh, okay. There is so much to unpack from that rant there, but one, YouTube is not an app. YouTube is a website that has an app. Apps aren't going anywhere. And well, you shouldn't be talking about filming kids, Travis, with your past. I'm just saying.
Can make that just are repetitive on their own, but I mean, people. What do people have to say as a counter argument to that? It's to make you look bad, whether you have a good counter argument or not. It's just the smear campaign is there, and it can be hard to overcome depending on the type of audience that is receptive to what the messenger has to say. So I'm just making this, and I think that's all I have to say here.
And that's where Travis's video ends. At no point in his video did he make any valid points. All it seemed like is he was upset that Lucid was calling out the A1 community for its downfall and its stagnation. If you want to have a thriving YouTube channel, you need to stand out amongst the thousands of channels that are out there. I'll be posting a link to Lucid Lair's channel and her original video on the downfall of First Amendment auditors. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it really helps me with the algorithm. And don't forget to check out my podcast and the second channel. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. And a special thank you to all members of the news team. Without your support, I couldn't keep the channel going. So I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. You guys mean the world to me, and I can't thank you enough.